Good morning, Starshines! Hello, hello! I think ads should be done for everyone. Hello, welcome in. Thanks everyone for grabbing your coffee. Good morning, Toot. Good morning, Muffin. Good morning, Commander. Good morning, Mike. And Yasha, thank you so much for dropping by. Yasha is in the process of making some birthday cards. So you're actually at your desk today, so you wanted to show your solidarity. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you dropping in. It has been a minute. But welcome in, everybody. And Toot poured my coffee, so today we got Starbucks. So I'm just going to write Toot's name directly on my cup. I'm not going to bother with the masking tape. Toot. And then a heart, and another heart, and another heart, and another heart, and another heart. There we go. So thank you for that. And just perfect timing for Yasha's coworker appreciation. Gigi's here. So you may notice we're extremely zoomed in. And you can see my tummy today, which is okay. Woo-hoo. It's got jiggle physics. It's fine. So hi, good morning. It's Saturday. This is your Saturday morning cartoons. Toot says hello, my handsome, handsome man. Yeah, are you a handsome, handsome man? He's going into the window to hunt squirrels. I could get a job at Starbucks, but I spelled Toot's name right, which might disqualify me. I don't know, they usually get mine right. DH, it's very easy. Alright, so hang on just a second. I'm going to turn the music up a little bit. Let me know if that's good for you guys. But yeah, I got the lavender latte. The spring menu just came out. I already ate my frog cake pop, which I was like, I don't need to pay $5 for a frog cake pop, and then I paid $5 for a frog cake pop. So here we are. But the new spring menu came out, and I got the lavender latte and decaf, of course. And it is delicious. So good. So good. But today we are going to Thank you too. You're right. You're very right. So today we heard you liked your stitching, so we're gonna put some stitching on your stitching. Hello, Jilly. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. I heard you like some stitching, so we're gonna put some stitching on your stitching. I picked up these from Millions of Stitches on Etsy, which is an ONS that I've started, an online needle workshop, which I quite like. We got an order from them already. Good morning, Callie. Welcome in. So these are buttons, and you could get them with flat backs or pin backs. So I got them with flat backs, but they're meant to be fabric covered buttons. Let me see if I can show you. And they come with this little tool and instructions on how to use them, which was very nice. But you basically, this is the front of the button. This one already appears to be smashed together, so I'll deal with that. You cover this with fabric, and then you put it in the tool, and then you like smoosh it down with this, and then you put the back on, and it makes a button. That's the theory. Now, not being a sewist, I own no fancy fabric whatsoever. In fact, I went and looked. I own 2 pieces of fabric. Can I get these apart? Or are they just forever enmeshed? I don't know. I need one more button cover then. I own exactly 2 pieces of fabric, and I bought them both for finishing cross-stitch pieces. So, what I want to do is I want to cross-stitch a needle minder, cross-stitch the fabric that's going to go on the needle minder. So that's what we're doing today. However, I don't want to put all the work into a cross-stitch piece, even if it's a tiny one, without testing it first. So I did grab my fabric. These are the 2 fabrics I have. Like literally, these are the only 2 fabrics in the house. I'm probably going to use the green one. And I'm going to do a sample button. So that's what we're doing today. We're stitching a very tiny needle minder, a very, very tiny little cross-stitch piece that is going to become a needle minder. And I already started it because I do want to try and get to the button making process on stream. So I already started it, which is why we're so zoomed in, because it is tiny. There we go. And it is a moth. It is a moth. If you didn't know, we like moths around here. Toot was like, oh my god, the pink and gray is so pretty. It was the back of the red and black. Oh dear. Yes, this is a little tiny moth. So we like moths around here. So I was like, surely we have a small moth pattern. So I went and looked at our archives. I looked at Colorfully Sarah's spring insects. And then I looked at Una Buena Piezza's beautiful moths. And I settled on this moth from Una Buena Piezza's Christmas moths pattern. And Julie, I am working on 28 count even weave, which this is just like a scrap that came from a kid or something. 28 count even weave, 1/1, full cross. So it's not as small as I could have gone. I have 36, but I did not go with the 36 because this, I was worried I would have to, because all the moths I was finding were quite big, like 40 by 40 stitches or larger. And the buttons are 1 inch. So if I did 32 count, I would need something like 30 stitches or smaller. This is about 20 stitches large. Morning Gardens. Yeah, I have done a project on 36 count even weave, and it was petite. 36 count over 1 would be wild. Yes, someday I will do that. That was Toot did over 1 on 32 count for one of the ghost faces, and he was small. Actually, here he is. This is over 1 on 32 count. And need my little locket finish. Where's my camera? Focus, camera, focus. There you go. So yeah, that is that's over 1. Not gonna lie, you were expecting Leshy. That would also track for Toot. Shazzy, welcome in! Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, that's my little ghost face. He goes, hello, Sydney. What's your favorite scary movie? So yeah, so I'm doing this little tiny moth. It's from Una Buena Piezza. I have a new command. If you guys are ever curious, you could do !project. And hopefully it will be updated. Hopefully I will have remembered to update it. I also, as you could... This is Binks. Binks is here. Hi Binks, bye Binks. Toot plugging our friend Owlicious Studios. Oops. Thank you for the appreciation, Kali. If Binks ever comes back, I will give her some appreciation. But she did a circle and then left. You just pulled out your ghosty diamond art? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. But for all that we love moths around here, I don't have a moth needle minder, which is why I wanted to make one. And as you can see, I've changed the colors. Hey, good morning, Moon. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm stitching a very tiny moth. I'm trying to keep the camera from autofocusing so often that it keeps focusing on my hand whenever I bring it up. So I'm gonna like stitch sideways like this for a bit. And then you can't really. I'll just do some occasional project shots. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Focus. Thank you. It's so small. I'm using a 28 needle because I don't think I could use anything else. Yes, that is Pow, our tortoise. I gave her some grapes, some tomatoes, and some bok choy this morning. So she is happily munching away. No egg today, no. I decided I liked Toot and wasn't gonna make the room smell like egg. So yeah, I put the pattern down in the corner, but I'm doing mine in purples for obvious reasons. And yeah, I have a no moth needle minder. You lurk Toot once in a while when work allows so you can see the noodle babies. Oh yeah, good noodle babies. I do have the camera on, so you've got the tortoise and then our king snake baby is allegedly on the other camera, but she very rarely shows up at this time of day. So you may spot her, you will probably not. I lost track of where I was. Doing another one of these. But yes, if you guys aren't aware, Toot plays games 4 mornings a week. Toot plays games 4 mornings a week. No mic, just gameplay. It is very chill, very good vibes. You can hang out, body double, co-work, whatever you want to do. So that is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So they'll be live again tomorrow morning. You know, Tangled hangs out and you're jealous, but because you can't. But you do peek in when work allows. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm sorry you guys are having difficulties with the Twitch letting you watch. I've heard that from a few different people. And yes, we appreciate all of our lurkers, for sure. And glad you enjoy the streams. Tomorrow morning, Toot's going to be playing Faz and checking out the new Tanglewood map. I'm so excited. I've watched very little of New Tanglewood, so I'm really excited to explore it with Toot. We've been obsessed with Minecraft this week, so we haven't done any Faz. Mike asks, will you have to put a magnet on the back of the button, or will it already stick to a magnet? I will probably have to mount a magnet on it. Probably have to mount a magnet on it, yeah. Oh, using super glue. Moon, thank you so much for the streak. 25 stream streak, let's go. It seems to be like Faz and maybe Cult of the Lamb stuff, things like that, that it pulls nonsense for. I wonder if it has something to do with the age restriction issue that you were running into before. I don't know. Chelsea says y'all won me over with a Hoggy baby. Plus the fact that crafting is done and all that fun stuff is just a plus. Yes, we do love our Hoggy baby ghosty. I said to Toot the other day something, I was like, your black and white son who only has one brain cell, and she goes, you're gonna have to be more specific. Hey Cryptic, welcome in. So Cryptic and I are going to be live together on Tuesday evening, 5 p.m. Eastern, for a very special stream. So I hope you guys can make it then. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yes, much excite. Sandy has all the brain cells from that group and he uses them all for spite. Yup. Toot just has a thing for black and white beans with 0 brain cells. Billy says that should be like 10 for me, so you try and pop on for a bit. Don't push yourself, but it would be nice to see you. But don't push yourself, but it would be nice to see you. I don't want to say like, oh no, don't come, because that's too late, but if you're sleepy, sleep. He says that's a hog he should be. You just thought he was a cobra. He never played dead. Yeah, they go all like pancake head. Hoober. If you guys aren't familiar with hognose snakes, they have 2 defense mechanisms. And one of them is like a bluff mechanism where they flatten out their head to make them look bigger and like a cobra. But of course, because it's so adorable when we do, we just call it pancake mode. And then their other is they play dead. They will like flop over and curl up and show their belly. Which Ghosty's never done for us, which is good because they only do that as like a very, very last resort, and he's never been that scared with us. So I am grateful that I've never seen it in person. But our little moth is starting to really take shape. Here we go, another little close-up. Yeah. So for the grays in the body, I swapped them out with like a bluer gray than the pewter it called for. And then the browns and oranges I swapped out for purples and plums. So you'll see some of the plum coming in after I finish this other bottom wing. Charlie says when they first hatch out of eggs, they do it mostly. I have a breeder friend who lives in the UK. Her hoggies are beautiful. Oh, all hoggies are beautiful. I want them all. We would, if we had more room and I had more energy, we might have a snake problem on our hands. Okay. Trying to find where I'm trying to go with this. and win the Powerball. Yeah. Hey, Hellcat, welcome in. Good morning. Hellcat, another... Oh, I need to set up an auto shouty for Hellcat, it looks like. Oh no, there it is. Haha. There it is. If you guys didn't know, Hellcat started streaming. She'll be live this afternoon for her first affiliate stream ever. So you guys should go drop her a follow, check her out. Toot says, I think Moon almost tried to sneak Ghosty away in her pocket the last time she visited. Garden says, Hellcat is your girlfriend. She will be. But she doesn't know it yet. We're gonna steal her. Wait. Goes down one. I also did myself a disservice in that the two grays I picked are too similar. So I can't super tell which is which. Yes, Hellcat is happily married. It's just a joke between all of us. So while I am focusing on the smallest moth, what are you guys working on? You just wake up, working on coffee. Holly is working on waking up. Very valid. I think I'm almost waking up. I'm almost on that stage as well. Toot's working on Annie Wilkes and her sledgehammer. Amazing. I love that piece. Toot's doing the Stephen King house from Witchy Stitcher. It's so good. There's so many little details in it. And so much black. Gardens wants very crispy bread sandwiches, playing random Steam games. Nice. Moon is making coffee and breakfast. Cryptic's doing coffee chores, etc. Hellcat's doing the same. Chelsea is working on Red Bull and Ghosty Diamond Art. While you're waiting on travel updates. Very good, very good. I hope you get word soon. Waiting mode is the worst. Cryptic's trying to set up Hellcat's bot point stuff too. Nice. Yeah, I love my bot. I don't know how I streamed before I had my bot. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Plane was delayed. It is, we're under a fog advisory here, and I just looked out the window, and yeah, we're under a fog advisory here. I would agree with that. Toot says I need to set up the bot, but change. Oh. Well, you have lots of support when you get there, but no rush. Oh, you're into Storm Watches, Cryptic. Shazi's husband has been in St. Louis. It's been 2 weeks, you're over it, and he needs to come home. Aww. Yeah, I would not do well with 2 weeks without. my spouse. Not at all. And Mike's working on Cat Nana by Infinity Bear. I believe I actually have a shouty for Infinity Bear. Is it just Bear? Infinity Bear? IBD? I have no idea what my shouty is for Amanda. Our record was 1 week and it was horrific. Yeah, it really was. It really, really was. No, it's just infant. There we go. Ah! If you guys want to go check out some very adorable designs, Amanda has you covered, especially if you like cats. Just poke myself. Moon says, I'm very spoiled at the moment. Your partner's at home while waiting to start his internship, and he worked a 12-hour shift the other day. And you were feral for him to come home? Oh no. Yeah, that's rough. I actually had a dream last night that I was like at some kind of gathering and Toot wasn't there, and pretty much the entire dream was trying to leave the gathering so I could get home to Toot. We need our peoples. Friends are lovely. Family is lovely. Our peoples are the best. Ooh, cut fabric for the thing. We don't have the task list up, but I enjoy that you are cutting fabric for the thing. My fabric is cut. My fabric is cut. I just need to pull my floss. I also have some other stuff to do regarding the thing. If you guys want to know what the thing is, tune in Tuesday night, 5 p.m. One thing that's really throwing me off about this design is that the moth is diagonal. Like, the design isn't this way. It's on the diagonal, but I keep wanting to stitch it this way because in my head this is how it's oriented. And the other thing that's throwing me off is it's not symmetrical. I thought it was symmetrical at first, but it is not. Which makes sense because if it was symmetrical, it would be much more of a right angle. But so I don't know why I assumed it would be a right angle or it would be symmetrical, but it isn't. So that is also throwing me off, and I think I just need to stop getting in a groove and actually follow the pattern. Trust the pattern, but follow the pattern. Jazzy says, Plus, I think the cats are tired of my crap and want Dad to come home. I can't help it. They want pets and I just want to cuddle them. Toot has been getting insane levels of cuddles the last few days. To the point where it's been difficult to get up and do things. I also had some really nice cuddles with Binks last night. She doesn't settle. She's constantly moving. So when she does settle enough to cuddle, it's very sweet. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do the eye spots next. And then the rest is just the lavender wings. And I have no idea how many stitches that is because I didn't bother putting this in Pattern Keeper. I'm just going off the PDF. And Toot says I think I put that moth on my hoodie too. It's a very cute little moth. I was hoping I could find like a rose moth or a Luna moth that would fit. I don't think a Luna moth would fit just because it's so long instead of like more round or square. But couldn't find one that was that small. The Colorfully Sarah patterns are always larger than I expect them to be. I'm working on one right now. And the motifs are larger than I expect them to be. Luna moths are gorgeous, absolutely. Toot has stitched a couple and has a few more on the docket. Ozzy woke up super warm yesterday and could figure just one spot on your back. Aww. Yeah. Sometimes they can sense when you need compression. Mike says, I was checking out your kits at String Theory. Saw that some of them include 3D stitchable ornaments. All the kits at String Theory are on the 3D stitchables. There are 3 keychain kits, and then the rest are ornament kits. And yes, they are the ones that I use for the seasonal samplers. Hi, Kat! Thank you for the lurk. So, I actually happen to have them here, but, so these are 3D printed by Babs, and basically you get, like, a frame that's hollow. I think the ones that we're selling are actually, like, a sparkly hollow, instead, like, a star sparkly hollow instead of this round hollow, but for that kit you get this frame, and then 4 inserts. So, like, there's spring, autumn, winter, and summer. So you get all of this, and the pattern to stitch it, and the floss to stitch it up with, and the needle as well. So that's one of the kits that you can get. Why can I not remember any? Oh, it's just string. Thank you. So yeah, there are kits up on the String Theory now. Some of them are solid ornaments. One of them is the seasonal samplers, and some of them are keychains, which are very cool. I do not have any keychains like on me. I am very excited to get some. And yes, the Halloween cookies are one of the ornament sets. And yes, these are my stabby my stabby animals. A whale shark with a people opener. That's the best name I've ever heard of that. So yeah, this is my desktop, by the way. I decorated it. It was plain white. So I decorated it with stickers, and these are scrapbook papers. And then I tacked down a measuring tape. And then I covered the whole thing with MAC tack. So yeah, this is my desktop. Thank you. Oh no, Toot, you have to frog. Oh no. New emote, by the way. Courtesy of Miko. The Grim Ripper. So if you guys are ever frustrated and need to let the world know what just happened to you, you can use the Grim Ripper now. Nah, you just like the emote. You wanted to show off the people opener. Very nice. Perfect. 10 out of 10, no notes. Oh, don't not while I'm trying to weave you in, please. There we go. Caesars. Where are you, Caesars? Nope. Nope. So yes, string theory is the source for my paper patterns and kits in the States. If you're outside of the States, I need to do up an announcement about this, but I just saw this morning that T-Mat Designs, which is a local needlework shop here, has some of my print patterns listed on their website for purchase, and they ship across Canada and internationally. So I have to do up an announcement, get the links up, everything like that. But yeah, that's very cool. So soon there will be info on where you can get some print patterns who are not in the States. Yes, they ship to the UK. Okay. So there we go. So let's do the eye spots next, which I'm going to do with these 2 shades of plum, just for a little bit of visual interest. So it's not purple on purple on purple. Toot has been here today. Pull 1 strand off, and I only need to do like 6 stitches with this, so I'm actually going to cut this strand pretty short. Just to make it more manageable. I already did the back stitch for the antenna, and the pattern has the back stitch going through the middle of stitches, which would be fine if I was working over 2 on this 28 count, but I'm not. So there's no physical way for me to do a half stitch right now. So I kind of winged them a little bit. How dare I cut a shorter length? There, I did it. Now I'm gonna wind the rest back onto the bobbin. It's okay, Shazi. No, none of us can count. That's the reason we all picked up a hobby called counted cross stitch. None of us can count past 2. Sometimes we can't even count 2. Okay. So, got these little tiny eye spots. Ooh, gardens can count to 4. Fancy. Jilly says this is why we grid and regrid. Yep. Or crochet. Shazi's lucky if they get past 1. Yup. The struggles are real. I'm in love with this little moth already. It's so cute. I'm really hoping it's gonna fit. That's my big worry. I think it will. I think the wingtips might curve around the side a little bit. We'll have to see. But Ozzy says you can't count. Get crafty, then you really know you can't count. Yeah, that's kind of the two things I always say about cross stitch. One, if you enjoy mining in a straight line in Minecraft, you'll enjoy cross stitch. And two, the first rule of cross stitch is accepting that you can't count to 3. But I will show you guys before the end of stream the reason why I need a moth needle minder, because it is related to a shop pattern that I just started and I need a needle minder for. So not that like I need a matching needle minder for every single project, I just like having a matching needle minder. Otherwise, I just default to one of my trans or non-binary needle minders. I need to sort through my needle minders. I was a little bit overzealous when I started making them, because enamel pins I've used to make needle minders, but not every enamel pin makes a good needle minder. Because it depends on the type of metal they're made from. Some of them, when you put the magnet against them, will actually like reverse the polarity or something, and the needle either won't stick or it'll just fly right off. So now before I start working on a needle minder, I check to make sure it's actually going to appropriately needle minder. So I kind of need to go through the older ones I've made and see which ones I can actually use and which ones need to be more of a decorative item. This has been DH's Top Tips. I'm also hoping that the thickness of the back here doesn't impact the button making process. Thank you so much for the hydrate.
Is such a thing even possible?
Ooh, we're gonna do the Wisdom of Cryon. Alright. Alright, I have taken a drink. Let me see, where did you go, Cryon? There you are. So this is not meant to make fun of anybody who uses oracle cards or tarot cards. I use them in my daily practice. These ones, however, are inspirational sayings from the Angel Cryon as channeled by Lee Carroll. And they're a little bit unhinged in that like wonderful kind of like 90s way. So you could get some really good advice, something that will really help you focus today. You might get something just wildly unhinged. So we don't know what we're going to get from the Angel Cryon as channeled by Lee Carroll. So just going to shuffle this. The Angel Cryon summoned commander. Alright. So I did a shuffle. These cards are big, so they're hard to shuffle. And then I do 2 cuts. We'll see what we got. Okay. The earth and the human in lesson are an inseparable partnership. You cannot be balanced unless you understand your root partnership with the planet through your connection with the heart of the earth. Yeah. I mean, I kind of get where he's going with it. It's still a little unhinged. The earth and the human in lesson are an inseparable partnership. You cannot be balanced unless you understand your root partnership with the planet through your connection with the heart of the earth. Toot says, I think Cryon is saying that you need to do more strip mining in Minecraft. I think you do. It's gonna take me a while to build that villager hall, so go and strip mine for diamonds. I still don't have any diamond tools, just saying. Thank you for redeeming a wisdom of Cryon. I just stretch my fingers after shuffling those. Whose fault is that? Is that my fault? Do we have diamonds? Do we have diamonds for me to make tools with and I was unaware? Oh, okay. Okay. You and your decorating hyperfocus. I like make pretty. This is how we Minecraft. This is how Toot and I Minecraft together. I build the base and make it really pretty, and I just learned a whole bunch of stuff about lighting and trapdoors, so like I'm using all of the trapdoors now and archways and things. And Toot just goes out and collects materials for me. I'll be like, okay, I need dark oak and dark cobblestone. See you in like an hour. Toot does the work. DH makes pretty. I need to do some texturing in the B room because it's right now it's like a very stark. I made a giant room, and one half of it is a fountain and like a mossy garden with bees and fireflies and parrots, and the other half is the enchanting table. But the dividing line between them is like still pretty stark. I need to like texture it out a little bit more. Right now I'm working on the nether portal room, which is also going to be our armory. And then I need to build the villager hall. Alright, and axolotls and a camel. How could I forget about the camel? Hey Lady K, welcome in. Alright, we have one plum eye spot complete. Focus, please. Like I said, this pattern is really throwing me off by being diagonally oriented and also asymmetrical. But it's so well done. Like, it looks perfectly balanced, and I think Inabona Piazza is a brilliant designer for the way that she manages to do that. So small. This is 28 count even weave. 1/1 full cross. Because I'm telling our son you don't love him. I'm sorry, I forgot about our son the camel. Oh, enjoy Comic-Con, Callie. Have a good one. Stay safe. Hydrate. Yes, Toot and I are playing a lot of Minecraft, and we got a camel who lives in our base now. I made the doors too small for him to get out of the room he's in. So he just wanders around, and most of the time he sits on the enchanting table. I need to do some more in that corner too. I mean, I don't need to do anything anywhere. It's just I like make pretty. So Moon, if you missed it, we are going to be turning this little moth into a needle minder, hopefully before the end of stream. If I can finish stitching before the end of stream, which I should be able to, because all I've got left is these top two wings. Everything's caught on everything else. Gotta love a moth stitch, yeah. We heckin' love moths around here, but I don't have a moth needle minder. So I need one. For reasons. Oop. Okay. Second eye spot done. How pretty that is. Trying to bring the light a little bit closer because there's like a little bit of a shadow, so it's looking darker than it actually is. Okay. No, it's not gonna work. Okay. Alright, woven in. Now we need our light purple. A surprising number of colors in this stitch. There was actually supposed to be more colors. Well, one more color. But I decided to do the top of the wings as well as the bottom wing in the same purple. You can see in the little photo in the bottom that the top of the wing is red and the bottom of the wing is brown. But I like this a little bit better. And I went with 153 for the lightest purple, mainly because I don't have 211 here. I think it's across the house in Toot's box, so. We're doing 153. I could have gone even lighter, like 26, 27, but I feel like that might have been too light because unless they're used exactly correctly, I find that those colors, which are like the very pale violet, pale lavender, they just read white unless it's exactly the right circumstance. I actually, in the first design of Baffy, which is the most recent pattern release in the shop, the wings had detailing done in 26 and it just looked white. It just looked white, so I just made the whole wing white instead of making people grab another color. Moon says that's your experience as well. Yeah. They're gorgeous colors, but they just don't shine, unfortunately. I'm gonna make myself a little coloring book here. Just do the outline. There's a Binx fur in my stitching. That's okay. Yay! Done with the fabric. I'm using an 18 count for it. Just that'll be fun, I think. Moon says love the closed caption said there's a big spur in mustache. Alright then. Alright guys. It has been an hour. It has been an hour. We are going to run a quick ad. 3-minute ad break. You're not going to miss anything. You can watch the animals, vibe to the lo-fi, grab your drinks, grab your snacks. And I will see you guys back here in 3 minutes. Alright, bye guys. See, I told you guys you wouldn't miss anything. Pow's still munching. I'm still stitching. I actually didn't even do a stitch. Well, I was on break. I was catching up on DMs. Scuff streamer or scuff stitcher. I don't know which one it would be. I also hydrated during the break. You should all hydrate. I'm just going to continue making my little coloring book and then I'm going to fill it in. I don't mind jumping the gap here. Thank you for the hydrate, Toot. Lavender latte. Highly recommend. Toot's name is optional, but I enjoy it. Oh, so good. They've got the cherry cold foam back too. Hey, Nightmare Gem, welcome in. I was just gushing about Starbucks's spring menu. They've got the cherry cold foam back, so they have like an iced cherry chai latte, which is delicious. But spoiler, you can get the cherry cold foam on any drink. So you can just have cherry cold foam everything. Which, maybe next time I do. I want to try some of the other new drinks first. Good morning, good morning. I am stitching the tiniest moth to make into a needle minder. Let me know if you're working on anything. Yes, I was actually thinking of doing a white mocha with the cherry cold foam. That sounds like a delicious thing I need to have in my body. But like a caramel macchiato with cherry cold foam, that would go hard. Anything would go hard with cherry cold foam. Chief Llama, welcome in. Hello from Australia. Hello from Canada. Commonwealth fist bump of solidarity. Cryptic's down to try. Oh, it's so good. I love it. Toot is working on Paul Sholom's arm sling. Excellent. The little tiny details just make that piece. And Nightmare's working on the Black Roses, Sal. Trying to get all set up for lives. Nice. That piece is actually on my short list. Like, before I knew that anyone was doing a Sal for it, because I have this piece of Bloody Mary linen that I was looking for a pattern for, and Black Roses was definitely on my short list for that. But I think I might do the Coffee Quaker on that linen instead. I don't know. Black Roses is huge. That is a commitment piece. I don't know if you know Andrew the Runner Stitcher on FlossTube, on YouTube, who is a FlossTuber. But he's doing Black Roses. But he's doing it entirely in beads. 2 different colors of beads. Which is just unhinged. But looks amazing. Alright, now we fill in the wings. There we go. I've just outlined the wing, so I just have to fill all of this in with the 153 Light Violet. I like the colors I chose. I think they work well together. The plum reads purple enough, but also different enough. And I think we're going to be good on size. This is 28 count even weave. The pattern is a very small piece of the pattern Christmas Moths from Una Buena Piezza, who I am sure I am mispronouncing that name, but gorgeous work. Okay, the Peepaw, the glasses are coming off. Peepaw has to check their work. What did I do here? What have I done? What's there? There is so much early fur in this. I'm gonna have to tweeze that out. Okay, back on track. I found that I really enjoy working on linen and even weave, but the first time I tried even weave, it was a thrifted even weave, and I didn't really enjoy it because the strands felt very like thick and plump, and I just didn't enjoy the tactileness of it, the sensory. But I really like this even weave. Good morning, starshine. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Llama. 475. Let's go. I really like this even weave because it's a little bit more structured. And I got a sample of 28 count even weave from Millions of Stitches, which was the same kind of very stiff structure. So I think the thrifted stuff is the outlier, and I might actually enjoy even weave. Who knows? And for the people who came in recently, just a reminder, Tuesday evening I will be live with Cryptic Entity 22 for a very special stream. Stitchy surprise. If you guys want to tune in, it'll be Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Stop getting stuck. I skipped a stitch. This is where it starts getting difficult because there's stitches everywhere. It's hard to see what I've done and what I haven't done. Llama says this is crazy beautiful. I embroider using my embroidery machine, but I couldn't imagine doing that much stitch work by hand. See, I couldn't imagine using a machine. I am one of those people that is machine cursed, where all sewing machines hate me and I cannot use them. So I am very impressed that you are able to machine embroider. And to be real fair, this is kind of an outlier. People don't usually stitch this small. I'm just doing this for unhinged reasons. Well, I guess I can show you guys why I need a moth needle minder. They're evil like printers. See, printers, I speak their language. Printers I'm cool with. Printers, we have an understanding. It's not what I wanted. Hear what I wanted. See if I can do this far away from the mic that it won't pick up. Yay! No zipping sounds. I haven't gotten very far. But this is going to be the Patreon pattern for April. It is the Moth Quaker. So I need a moth needle minder. But you can immediately see the difference in stitch size between these two pieces. Like, this is unhinged, this is normal. You have 3 machines you run simultaneously and they're like toddlers always needing attention. I can imagine that with 3 machines running simultaneously. Lady K sees the raptor memes. Yeah, that sounds about right for that situation. I unthreaded my needle. Let's just draw that through and thread the needle again. Why are you not threading? You are 1 strand. Thread, please. Thank you. Rotate. Oh, this is looking so cute. The blues and the gray is the blue-gray is really reading blue with the purples. I love it. And the antenna, they still look like antenna. They still got that kind of vague fuzzy feel to them, even though I wasn't able to do the backstitching quite the way it called for in the pattern. I'm also stitching English at the moment, and I usually do Danish. I don't know why I decided to stitch English for this, but here we are. Maybe I will do English for the next row of stitches. Or Danish, I mean. Llama says it's giving Animal Crossing in a good way. Good. Yeah, it's super cute. So we're going to be using a fabric button maker to turn this into a button, basically, that I am then going to turn into a needle minder for my math project. That is the fate that has been decided for this itty-bitty little piece. So I started it before stream, just before stream, but I just had the body of the moth done, so all the gray, and then kind of like that top line of purple. So everything else I've done during stream, because I really want to do the button bit with you guys. So I've said this to Moon before, but the best way to make yourself do something that you've never done before is do it on stream. Because then you can't chicken out. And also you've got a bunch of people supporting you. Hey, Bells. I'm expecting to see you. Moon says 100%. Yeah. Toot says Bella's mad she won't give her more treats. Oh no. Bella, did you come to me looking for treats? I won't give you more treats. You'll have to beg elsewhere. Isn't the world's most neatest stitching, I would say. Hello, where did you go? Lady K wishes to appreciate you. Hold on. No treats for baby. I give you pets. Yeah, you do me big screams? Yeah, you're a good girl. I gave her scritches for you. Also, you guys can see my neon green feet. I'm wearing my favorite pair of compression socks today because they are neon green. We ordered compression socks from a Canadian company called Viasock. Oh no, what have I done? Because they were supposed to be, like, size inclusive. I'm sure you can tell the end of this sentence. They're supposed to be size inclusive, and also they have Bigfoot prints. Like, Bigfoot cryptid print collection. So of course I had to get them. They don't fit. So, Edge. But they do fit Toot, which is great. So Toot has very cool new socks now. And I will be getting replacement socks that are not compression socks, but still have really cool prints and are nice and comfy. But I was big sad. I was very excited. I was very, very excited for my Bigfoot socks. A word of warning, if you're larger of calf, the Viasock's compression socks will not fit you. But their easy stretch socks will. Alright, one wing down, pretty much. Still got 40 minutes of stream left. I might make this. We've still got to do our test button as well. I was telling chat at the beginning of stream, I'm not a sewist. I don't like sewing. I'm not good at sewing. I'm not a sewist. I'm not a quilter. I can hand sew. I don't enjoy doing it, which is so funny because cross stitch is basically the same motion, but for some reason I just don't like doing it. So there's no fabric in the house, like no cool colorful fabric that isn't Ada, except for these two pieces, which I got for finishing cross stitch pieces. You will see both of these in upcoming issues of Just Cross Stitch magazine. Also, I really love this one. What I'm gonna do, I just finished a shop sample, which is what I've been working on for the last couple of days. You guys might recognize this one because it's been in the shop since 2024, since 24. But it was only these two that I had stitched, so I finally stitched the third guy. And I'm gonna fold this, like, I'm gonna do like a cute little pillow, like that, with this as the backing. So this is going to be the back of the pillow. I think that's going to be really cute. Although looking at it, I wish I had slightly more fabric on either side, because if I could do them like a roll, like a treat roll. But yeah, I think these two are going to look so good together. Yeah. So I do have to sew an entire pillow. Which means I also need to find stuffing, because we don't have stuffing in the house. Oh no, we have to go to Michael's. Or, you know, Walmart. That's my hack for stuffing. Is when I need, when I need stuffing and I don't want to pay for polyfill, I get one of those $5 blue whale pillows from Walmart. Shazzy just took a drink of your Red Bull and your septum ring almost got caught. Wouldn't be the first time, but you're usually really careful. I would understand. Ow, septum ring getting caught on anything. Oh. Toot says, in response to my sewing a pillow, good luck, have fun. Thanks for that. And no, Mike, there will be no hand-sewn The Cozy DH project bags. There will be no machine-sewn The Cozy DH project bags. There will be nothing sewn whatsoever. I have a very great respect for people who can sew and can create these amazing things using fabric and interfacing and zippers, and hand-sewn project bags are just amazing. But I just can't do it myself. It's not that, like... And I'm sure I could learn. I'm sure I could take some courses, really take the time to learn, but I'm not that pressed about not knowing how to do it. I could appease the sewing machine demon god and be able to use a sewing machine, but I'm not... Developing that skill isn't a priority for me. Let's put it that way. So I have a lot of respect for the people who do it and can do it. And they make some really awesome things. Mike says, except be Cornu. Yeah, I only sew to finish things. And you'll notice that B Cornu is a whip stitch, which is the easiest stitch to master. And I hate sewing up B Cornu, so there you go. I stitch them and then I'm like, no. Which is too bad because I love the way that they look. They're super cute. But they need sewing. I'm stuck. Does that happen to anyone else? Getting your thread caught around the screw? Like, I feel like it happens to me every single stitch. I know it's not every single stitch. It just feels like that. But I don't know if there's something I'm doing wrong or something I can do differently. I've started, when I'm using my Nurge, I put my clamp over here. Mike says people that have shown the Newborn Beginnings B Cornu you designed are really impressed. Oh good, I'm glad. I'm glad that you, I mean, stitching it up neatly is definitely a struggle, so I'm glad you were able to do it. Your friend's Static Tides makes boatloads of costume for their cosplay. Totally amazing stuff. They use sewing machines and everything. I know how to sew, but super impressed with their craftiness. Yeah, cosplayers, they are next level, man. Kali, who was here earlier, makes some incredible cosplays. They did one with a dragon, like a full-on rideable dragon. It was very cool. And Moon says always when working on smaller hoops. And Cryptic says not the screw, but the clips you use every other time, it seems like. Yes, or when pulling the floss through. You've watched that happen to Tangled a lot too. Okay, good. I'm not alone. I was wondering if I was just like really inept at pulling my floss through and there was some easier way of going about it, but no. It's just a common problem. But yeah, whenever I load up my Nurge, I try and put the screw on this side so I'm like holding it. It's also easier to put my clamp that way. Around and out. Oh, we're so close, guys. I can see the finish line. At the tiniest knot. And I'm sure I've stitched some of these stitches twice. Because I just... better safe than sorry. Oh, I just heard my own accent really loudly. When I said sorry. Okay, so... my accent tends to be a pretty standard Central Canada accent. However, I was born in and raised by people from the East Coast. So occasionally, some of that slips in. And the other day, Toot sent me a TikTok which called me out completely. It was understanding East Coast slang. And it was someone going, a firm agreement. And the East Coast slang is going, yeah. You have to inhale on the yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, I've done that. Have you eaten yet? Jeet. Done that one. It's time to go and do something we're excited about. Pitter patter, let's get at her. Done that one. I was like, oh no, I've been perceived. Say chimney? I can say chimney. My dad can't say chimney. My dad says chimbley. It's really a lot of like removing letters from the beginning of words and moving them to the end of other words. Like we'll take the H off of something and then add a T to something else. But I had a friend who was from the East Coast. She was from Nova Scotia. And she had such an ear for accents that she could tell someone which county they were from in Nova Scotia after talking to them for 5 minutes. It was eerie. She'd be talking to them and she could be like, oh, you're from Cumberland County, eh? And they'd be like, yes, how did you know? That or they'd go, yeah. Something else. Coming for me again, I see. But yes, Jeet Jet is something that I say a lot to my best friend, actually. Which is, did you eat yet? Another TikTok Toot sent me was talking about the Newfoundland accent, which is different from the Nova Scotian accent. Quite different. And it was an Irish musician, and he was talking about how Newfoundland's the only place he's been where he has to speed up his accent in order to be understood. And Newfoundland is basically like they dropped off a bunch of feral Irish pirates and let them marinate for a century or two. And, like, they're not wrong. Apparently the minimum distance you have to travel for people's accent to start sounding noticeably different to the trained ears, like 25 kilometers. Yeah. Jilly's brain immediately started with Come From Away. Theater kid brain. I mean, Come From Away is a fantastic musical about Newfoundland. And if you get the right cast, the accents are, like, spot on. The version that I watched, they were on point. Newfies are just a different breed. They totally are. Put a bunch of feral Irish pirates on a rock for 150 years. I managed to see a filmed version. It was an official filmed version. I don't know where I got it, though. Where I saw it. Toot says bitchin' fries, though. Yeah, Newfie fries or something else. So, Quebec has poutine, which is fries, cheese curds, and gravy. Newfie fries are fries, gravy, and stuffing. Like turkey dressing. So good. And then we usually add cheese to ours as well. Because why not? Oh, so good. Alright, we have finished stitching our little tiny moth. Where did my scissors go? Did I put fabric on top of them? How can I lose my scissors every single time I put them down? Toot loves the goop meals. Yes. Meals that can become all the same texture. Alright. So there she is. There she is, bye. It's already begun. Little tiny moth. So cute. I love it. So, I know, and I have this big piece of fabric I used for it too. Oh well. On the bites. That's more Irish than Nova Scotian. I forgot where I was from for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this over. It came with a template on the directions, so let's look at the directions with the template. So this is the correct size to cut fabric. So I've got to, let's get a pencil out. Make sure that's nice and flat and nice and centered. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same on my green fabric. Just going to take a little corner of it because I don't know where it's cut. Okay. Alright, we're going down here. I do have tailor's chalk around here somewhere. Do I know where it is? No. Yeah, Toot is an all the same texture kind of tism, and I require different types of texture tism. Hey, Earls. You coming to help? Or are you just transiting across my desk? Oh, you're transiting across the desk, I see. Oh, you've got some crazies in your butt. Orly, you want to be appreciated by Jilly? Yeah. Okay. You're gonna transit across my me. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're back down on the desk. She can stay on the desk as long as she doesn't get in the way of the cutting. Really, you can, I said as long as you don't get in the way of the cutting, and then you immediately love on the scissors. You're a menace. Oh, thanks, Cryptic. I appreciate it. It's over there? Yep. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Okay, now let's do the same over here. Sorry, is that a frame? Okay. Now this fabric can go over here. These go out of the line of fire. Alright, and then we read the instructions again. Oh no, my hands are shaky. I don't know how well this is gonna go. Okay. Got all my materials here. So center the fabric face down on the plastic holder. Okay. And place button dome into center. Okay, that's not quite centered. Doesn't help that my fabric has a crease in it, but okay. Alright. Press, there we go. Tuck edges into button dome. Boop, boop, boop. Snap in back, oh, that's another front piece. Snap in the back piece. Hey Cassie, welcome in. Bro, your hands are always shaky. Wow. Okay, I don't, okay, I do it this way so that it's convex. Yes, Toot, I agree. Okay, and then use the pusher. This is the pusher. Oh, I heard a pop. I don't know if that popped all the way around. Okay. Okay. Seems secure. Was that a button pop or a thaw pop? It was a button pop. Thank you very much. So we stitched this very tiny moth. So this is what we were doing most of the stream. Was cross-stitching this tiny moth. And now I'm making it into a button using this button making kit that I got. And then the button will be turned into a needle minder. Okay, so I guess we're just going. We're going here. So that is centered. This is our button dome. Push that into place with the thumb. Oh, and I can flip it over and see, make sure it's centered. Nice. I think that's a little bit off. I'm gonna try it again. Like this. Oh, that's really off. Oops. You've been making froggies all morning? I hope that means you were making frog stuffies and not that you had to frog a bunch of stitches all morning. Oh no, that's still off. Okay. Okay. A little bit up. Maybe if I center it on the button this way. Okay, that worked. It kind of feels like putting like a moth under glass or something. Alright. So then we tuck all the fabric in. I actually feel like I might have done with a bigger border here, or I needed to center my thing better. Okay, and then we do this. Make sure all the fabric's tucked in. We do this. I said, and then we do this. Oh, it worked better when it was in my hand. Gonna work. I went in sideways. Okay. Oops. Okay. I was able to control it better when it was in my hand. Okay, I think that worked. I think that clicked. See if it falls apart when I pop it out. Pew. Okay, it's still a little bit off center. But still, I love it. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. Look at that! How cute is that? Alright, give me one sec. I just realized I said hey Gwen when my mic was muted, but you would have seen it on the captions. But yeah, look, it's so cute. I'm gonna have to think of a lot more. I mean, I got a lot more of the Zeta. So or even weave, it's not Ada. Alright, so next step would be to take a magnet. Two magnets, technically. Need to move it back. Does it stick? It doesn't. Good. Alright, and then what I do to test to make sure it's actually going to be a good needle minder is I'll just hold the magnet in place. And then I'll drop the magnet on. And then I'll drop the needle on, I should say. And then I turn it over, and I shake it. And you're still there. Nice. Nasal spray time. Yeah, it's time for the nasal spray. In case you weren't there, this bottle looks a lot like Toot's nasal spray. There may have been a mishap with it. Or a near miss. Anyways. Okay. Now for this step, I need a Q-tip because the lid of the super glue is actually super glued into place. So I have to open the bottle and use a Q-tip. Whoop. I thought they were closer at hand. They were not. I'm gonna do this one too, because it's cute. So... were there consequences of actions? No, Toot's never punished. Never consequences. A little bit of super glue there. A bit of super glue there. Put this very carefully in the trash. And we do a magnet here. Boop. We do a magnet here. Boop. Hold them in place for a few seconds. And then I usually let my super glue cure overnight. Technically it bonds instantly, but I just feel more secure using it if I've let it sit for like 24 hours before I actually use it. Oh my god, that was so cool. Okay. So one last look. Ah, so cute. Okay. Amazing. That was so much fun to do. Thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. This wonderful, fun journey. So yeah, I picked these up from Millions of Stitches on Etsy, and they were really affordable. The button pusher, like this thing, was $7, and then I got a pack of 8 buttons, and that was like $2.50. So once you have the button pushy thing, the buttons themselves are not very expensive. And maybe a dangerous new method of making needle minders for me. Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna put this carefully back with the rest of the pin back. So I've got 6 more of these to play with. You've got a lapel pin you're going to make into a minder. Just need the Dremel. Yes, good. I know this is completely unsolicited advice and we don't do that so much, but I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about how some pins don't make good needle minders because they like reverse the polarity. So just, I would check and make sure it's going to work by putting a magnet behind the pin and then trying to get a needle to stick to the other side of the pin before you actually go about dremeling it, just in case. But yay, so that is for this project, which is going to be April's Patreon. Moon forgot Unseelie uses one thread and mindlessly did a loop start. The number of times I have done that, I cannot even begin to tell you. Oh no, I trapped my thread. I trapped my thread. So I'm actually not going to get into this because I was going to end stream in about 10 minutes anyways. There we go. I'm actually not going to start stitching on this because it is about time for us to wrap. So yeah, that took like pretty much exactly 2 hours, which is amazing, and I'm so happy with the results. And I'm happy with this little guy too. The little green guy. That's a cute one. Who forgot Unseelie used it? Yeah. I was like, why is it so much thicker? Yup. Yes, Toot? So yes, join us Tuesday. Join us Tuesday evening, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna be live. Crypto's gonna be live. Oh, you were wrapping. Okay, because we're wrapping up. Gotcha. We're gonna be live Tuesday evening. Very special stitchy surprise that you guys should definitely tune in for. Pin does work. Yay! Excellent. And then tomorrow morning, Eastern, if you're up and you would like some body doubling as you get your day started, Toot is going to be playing Phasmo, checking out the new Tanglewood map. Absolutely go check her out. And this afternoon, Hail Cat is going to be having her very first affiliate stream. I'm not sure when that is starting. Let me just go double check that. Oh goodness, I can't find the stream calendar. 1 p.m. Okay, so in about an hour. So about an hour, go check out Hail Cat. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's definitely what I'm doing this afternoon. Have a look at our shops. Check out the Patreon if you would like either this month's Tiny Sasquatch pattern, which is coming out tomorrow. I completely forgot what I was doing. The Patreon pattern for this month is releasing tomorrow. It is a Tiny Sasquatch. So if you want to grab that, definitely go and sign up for the Patreon. Or if you want the Moth Quaker, that's going to be next month's, sign up for the Patreon. It's very, very cool. I think that is it for stuff I have to talk about. Yes, talk about. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. We're gonna get wrapped up here. Let me just hop on over to the end screen. Yeah. All right, friends. Let's find someone to raid out to. So go ahead and grab a raid message. If you are subbed, copy the first message. If you are not subbed, copy the second message. You guys are so welcome, and thank you for joining me. It wouldn't be the same without you guys, honestly. Alright, you know what? I want some chill. We're gonna go see Cult of the Ducks. There's a very fat squirrel on the screen. I'm very excited about this. Okay, we're gonna start the raid. So everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the coffee shop. I'll see you in the Discord server. I will 100% see you in my new needle minder making workshop. But most importantly, my friends, I will see you in my heart. Alright. Bye guys. Bye bye.